desire and suffering. So this is something that a lot of people um they don't really understand it, and it's just a natural thing, and a lot of people don't understand it because like certain religions that they follow don't really they just don't really talk about this principle. And I did notice, like, even like in my studies, like with religion in in high school, and even now, like just hearing what other people say and what other people practice, it's more common like to kind of hear this phrase with a lot of Eastern religions and just ways of thinking on a lot of Eastern philosophies. So I kind of noticed this, and this goes back to my previous story with when I went to Los Angeles back in 2017 for pre-college. And I just noticed that, like, since I was really really happy and content with myself, like going to the trip and just being away from home and experiencing things for the first time, that it kind of just gave me like a natural um aura of just happiness and peace, and it kind of just like really really lit me up. And I'm guessing that it was something that was really really attractive to people, and it kind of made them like float around me. But one thing like beforehand that I was really struggling with was just making more friends. Like, even though I was ending high school, um yeah, I still wanted to make more friends and kind of like make sure that continue throughout college, so I wouldn't kind of spend more time alone in college than like the way it was in high school. And so yeah, I made sure I wanted to change that. And I guess like the thought of that, like of just wanting to make friends, it went away after I realized, I did something that I wanted to do for a long time, which was travel by myself. And just the thought of wanting to make friends, wasn't something I was really thinking about until like I kind of left later on in July, because the trip was in July. But I noticed that like not really focusing on it is really what made it come to pass. And basically I was pretty much just focused on my own happiness and peace throughout the trip, and a lot of people were drawn to me. And it was probably because I didn't really focus so much on the fact that I wanted to make friends and build that skill, that it just naturally manifested itself. And I ended up meeting a lot of people. And then the second example of this was with sports, particularly because I played soccer for a long time up until I started college and I stopped playing. Um, yeah, I noticed that like days where I would really be focused on scoring, because I was a center forward at the time, and that's kind of like where most of my value is. It's with pressing and mainly scoring, but the main thing is, yeah, just getting goals and then being like a frontline person who's being effective. Um, because some strikers, they don't score, and that's a whole other topic of why. But the point is to be effective in your position. But the point was that like over time I started noticing like a lot of games I would go in just focused on scoring all the time, and it wouldn't happen. But it was usually games where I just went in calm and I just didn't care that I would score more. And even games where like mentally I wasn't focused on the game, I was focused on other stuff, I would just end up scoring out the blue, and I'm like, whoa, like how did I just score? Like, did that just happen? So yeah, just with those examples, like that's the reason why desire creates suffering, because you focus so much on one thing that I guess maybe universally or energy wise you just prevent it from happening. Like, you just repel certain things when you tend to focus on them for a really really long time. Even in school's another example. Like, when I really really focused on grades and pushing myself, saying you got to get a good grade, you got to push, you got to make sure that you have the highest grade in class, that it just kept me in like the 80 range, and I really really struggled. But later on in college, since I didn't focus on grades so much, I ended up having like A's and just a really high GPA and really high grades. So that's when I started to notice like there's a difference. So when you desire stuff, basically, like in a nutshell, don't desire things. Like, you can kind of expect them, but don't really spend all your time desiring certain things. Just let things flow. Just let stuff happen in its time, and don't obsess over one thing. Just let stuff happen and just be grateful. That's like the main thing that you can do to prevent from desiring things. Just look at what you have, and be grateful that you live in a country where Like even one thing people don't talk about is inflation, like where you won't have to worry every few years if, the money that you're making, if it's going to be worth pennies because, you live in a stable economy. And just safety and being able to have clean water and being able to waste water, that's a huge privilege that a lot of people don't have. And you should really, really, just count your blessings and be happy. And then that's how other things come in and how other yeah, really good things happen. Like it's just through being grateful and understanding like your purpose and really just making sure that you have a purpose and you set goals for yourself and that you're just content and other stuff will happen. So that's all I got.